What's going on, Legion fans? Welcome to this is a momentous day.
Big day.
This is our final episode of the Star Wars Correction Saga, unless
more come out. They
not.
change. Well, no, I hope they do, and then they change.
Oh, sure. If they
get rid of those that should not be spoken about.
That's true.
We could.
Yeah. Well, this would be the end of the Correction Saga. But we could do a Perfection Saga on 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
we could get there. We could do that.
They're there.
We could do it for maybe
Rogue One,
10, 11, 12 when they eventually
10,
do
11, 12?
Yeah, I'm hopeful.
They will. Well, it's Disney now.
7,
so
8, 9. You know, I'm hopeful for when they put out 7, 8, 9.
Oh yeah, because we haven't seen those yet.
Yeah, they don't exist.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
All right. Well, so they don't. Well, they don't. We will never tell our offspring of that. Of
exactly.
Those movies. So, for those of you who can't see us, because I know some of you guys listen on our streaming services, you can't see that we have a guest here, but we do have a guest,
special guest,
a very special guest today. We have Emily here, who is joining us for episode 3. Thanks for coming.
Emily Chapin.
That's right.
Who already the other night,
Ward?
if you don't know,
Ward?
I'm sorry, Emily Ward now. Emily Ward now. Okay, but formerly Chapin.
I'm keep
formerly Chapin. Have to be able to say,
go
keep
ahead.
that in there.
It is Chapin Ward at the moment. It's
Chapin Ward hyphenated.
Ooh, a hyphen.
A hyphen.
Classy.
So all of them have been wrong. Everything has been wrong that
Everything's
I've said.
wrong.
Everything I'm saying is wrong.
I'm glad we're getting this out here now, so when I write the description out, I can write it out.
Yeah.
Fine.
Exactly.
But so this Emily is Harry, who's been on here.
King?
She is his sister.
That's right.
And there has been a lot of back and forth the other night, especially about who is going to do a better job of correcting
episode 3,
because he was a little upset.
Well, we went with Emily.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
We went with Emily. We did.
Yeah.
We did.
I've been Mrs. Vader since 2002 when the second episode 2 came out.
That's right.
So that was my AIM name.
There we
Or
go.
I am.
There we go. That's right. Somebody else on the dark side with me here.
Somebody else also
That's
on
why it's this shirt.
AIM.
And
That's
not,
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a TIE Fighters.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow,
Exactly.
Good to go.
Emily, one other thing.
Yeah.
You
what
brought
is
something
this?
with you.
I brought some lightsabers.
What is this?
Those
Those are lightsabers?
are lightsabers.
They're lightsabers.
Emily was like, take this downstairs. I was like, I don't know what it is.
For those of you who can't see, they're cupcakes, and there's red and blue with silver on the bottoms. They're lined up.
I didn't know those
like
were lightsabers. I thought it was an X.
X marks the spot. So here's the answer, though. Why did I bring this? I mean, my brother brought. What did he bring you guys?
A clone trooper helmet.
Yeah.
And Beskar.
And Beskar.
So
yes.
you know me, I'm known for baking.
That's right.
But you guys also mentioned something, either the correction for episode 1 or 2 about something about a poop-filled cake.
Yeah.
Diaper cake or something like that.
You mentioned something
so these are
something
filled.
about poop. And
I'm sure I did.
I think I mentioned cake.
I'm sure I did, but I don't remember some of my references anymore. Sometimes I just say things.
Yeah, these are filled with chocolate
Not
chips.
Poop?
They're filled with chocolate chips.
Looks. No, just kidding. It doesn't look like it. But
there isn't one of them that's filled with poop, right?
Oh, is there?
Well,
that
Scott
would
was
be
crying
horrible.
earlier, so
that would be horrible. Like, all right, here's all these cupcakes. Eat them. However, one of them has
smash
poop
on
in
your
it.
head.
Hey, we're gonna have to. That might be a good
I'm a little bit
Patreon
cautious about
video.
eating these cupcakes.
I'm a little
There's
nervous.
No...
Well, Anthony already had one, so you're good.
Okay, all right.
You're
all right.
Well, Anthony got the poop one.
He did. Did he have red or blue?
His was
or silver.
It was.
Oh, was it the purple?
You
Yeah,
know
it was the
which.
purple.
You know which lightsaber I'm taking.
The blue one.
No.
You see which side is pointed to which side. You see who would essentially be holding which lightsaber.
That's true. That's true.
So you got to understand here.
100% makes sense.
She even planned this out.
There you go.
That's your lightsaber.
Yeah.
This is mine. Very clearly.
Yeah. And I know you've been trying to get me to the dark side
for a while now.
And there's 2 of us here now.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's very apropos.
Master and apprentice, and I'm not going to tell you who's who.
Cool.
It's very apropos that it's blue because Anakin started with the blue lightsaber.
Correct.
And he eventually turned to the dark side.
That's
this
right.
was. Do I go with blue and blue because of Anakin and Obi-Wan, or do I go with? I actually.
I got you there.
I started going and doing red, and I was going to take that very dead center one and make that red as well, and then go blue all the way up. But then it kind of looks funky, and Logan really wouldn't have known what it was then.
Yeah, I really.
So I was like, so I was like, okay, I have 4 cupcakes left. What do I do? So
I wouldn't have gotten it.
So
I like the handles.
Yeah.
I thought it was very
Makes
clear,
sense.
Emily. I thought it was very clear.
Thank
I
you.
don't know what you.
It's all right. It's not like we're all
talking
teachers or
about.
something.
Yeah, that's right.
Move
Object
on.
lesson.
Move on. I didn't know it was a lightsaber. All right, big deal.
All right. Well,
Let's get into this.
We're gonna talk about our correction today. Well, actually, you know what? We've done a lot
Yes.
of these. You mentioned the episode number. I think it's like 65 now or
Yeah.
something like that. So we've
We're
done
on
quite a bit.
episode
It
64 or
is
65.
I think today's
64.
64, yeah.
Yeah. So we've done a lot.
We have.
And we've done a lot of corrections. And we've done
We have.
some perfections. But this one is a little bit
A
unique.
little bit different.
It falls in the middle.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's
I got
episode
nothing
3.
for this.
It's just a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Or a comic-inspired movie.
Yeah. It's
So-
nothing.
Yeah, it is what
It's
it is.
meh
Eh.
to me.
Well, but we're still going to hold it the same way. So
Right.
we'll still do
We're gonna follow
our
the same
carnage and our
routine.
correction and our verdict. So
We're going to
Thank
stick
God.
to everything
Yeah.
the same way. Yeah, if we completely
prepare for
changed it
that?
on Emily.
we're doing completely different.
Yeah, completely changed
Like,
it on
Whole
Emily.
different
Did
thing.
not tell her
okay.
anything.
Just throw that away.
Yeah.
No, she
Whatever
came,
you came with, throw it out the window.
Listen, she came with something.
I know, she came
She's
with a whole
prepared.
bunch.
This
She's
is from,
very
This
prepared.
was Mrs.
You see who's
Vader
on the front.
in 9th grade. What year
Ooh.
that would have been, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
you see my old address. You all can see it if you'd like to. In my elementary handwriting. No,
Oh, wow.
All right.
All
very
right.
Cool. Well,
yeah.
it still looks better than my adult handwriting. So,
That's very fair.
and I'm a teacher too. This is bad news. All right. Well, let's start up then. So we've got our Carnage report first. Let's jump right into it. All right, so Carnage Report, we always talk about how much the money made, who is in the movie,
The money!
what source
So
material was a part of the making of this movie.
Yeah.
And then we jump into the actual correction. So
That's
we need
right.
we need to lay the groundworks first. So we've been doing this recently where we guess
Yeah.
some prices. So I'm gonna have Emily guess the
You go first.
the budget. No, I'm gonna have her guess
Oh,
the budget.
budget.
I'm gonna have
Okay.
you guess the gross.
Okay.
So we'll see how much. So
It's a
how
good
much
idea.
do you think it cost to make this movie?
That's an
Let's see.
interesting question.
$99 million.
What?
I don't know why I went with 99.
What?
I don't know.
That's
I don't
so
know.
low.
Hayden Christensen.
That's,
really,
I don't
really
even
low.
need to look at that. That's wrong.
They didn't pay him because. Are we getting into that now? His poor acting.
No,
Anyway.
they didn't even pay him.
They
They
said go
took-
back to
They
Canada.
took out his salary.
Get your loonies
All
and
right, I like
toonies.
that. I like that. I know
Sorry.
it's not $99 million, but I still like your rationale behind why you thought it was $99 million. Now, can I guess it?
Yeah, you can get
250.
200. Really, 250.
Actually, no. The year it was made. No, I'm gonna cut that back.
'Cause it's
200.
05.
I'm gonna say
200.
200. 200 million to make.
113 million.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow.
by-
Okay, so she wins because she didn't go over.
She was
Oh
actually.
yeah, it would be
You
like
won.
yeah,
You
yeah,
won.
yeah. Bob Barker, what do I get?
Yeah. I don't know. You get to be on the show.
Oh yay!
Yeah,
okay.
there you go.
Took a while.
You win.
You win.
Well, we wanted to save a good episode for you. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
You
No,
want to
I'm
get the
very-
right one. The right
113.
one.
All right, now it is.
113.
So I'll have you go for it. And we'll let Emily guess this one too if she wants to. So how much did it make?
How
So
much
remember,
did
it's
it
a Star
make?
Wars movie, so we're gonna think it's gonna be a big number. 'Cause it's
Has to
I
be
know,
big?
I
Can
know.
you give me a reference point? Because I always forget this part of the
Okay,
podcast.
so
when I
How
like,
much
listen.
yeah,
did-
so like the highest grossing film right now is around the $2 billion mark.
Okay.
Right.
And I think episode 1 made around $1 billion.
Yeah. I'm going to
So-
say because I think if I remembered correctly on this is the highest of the 3.
Okay.
I believe, and I think it was
I don't remember.
1.3.
1.3 billion.
1.3 billion is
Okay.
my guess.
All right, what do you think, Emily?
1.21.
Oh, look at
Billion.
her. Look at her undercutting. Oh,
21's
such
my
a
favorite
move.
That is
number.
a good move.
I
Yeah.
should have just said 100 million on the other one and been like, I'm going to get it. That was
It,
good.
It only made 868 million.
Wow.
Yeah, 868 million. So it
Very-
actually didn't make
Very
as much.
surprised there.
I'm pretty sure it's because episode 2 was so bad.
Oh.
It just
that
killed
it
the rest
probably
of it.
killed the momentum. At least
See,
two did good.
I
Still
would
a
have
good,
thought
still
that.
a good.
Oh,
I
it's a
mean,
good number.
Yeah.
Almost $700 million.
Yeah, I mean
in
it's a
profit.
it's a
That's
good
fantastic.
number, but I just knowing how much better it is than episode 2,
Yeah.
Right.
the fact that they knew at the time that was going to be the last Star Wars movie because of the fact that it was just rolling right into 4. We already have 4.
Right. There
You
wasn't
know,
any.
There
promise
wasn't
of a
any
sequel
plan.
trilogy.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So my thought was they were gonna bounce back there, and they didn't.
Well, you thought wrong.
Yeah, clearly.
Or the Taiwanese market didn't like it as much because usually they have
Yeah.
or Malaysia, they usually have a big.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure
Don't
actually.
know.
What.
Don't know.
Well, actually, if we look, so it wasn't. I mean, so the domestic was about 380, and the international was 488. So
All right.
Whoa.
yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know. All right, so cast. So we get It's pretty much just the same people returning here. We have Hayden Christensen coming back.
I loved him though. Can we get into that? Nope, just kidding.
No.
I mean, no, I don't
Why
understand.
did you love him?
Okay,
Well,
so
he's dreamy, I guess, a little bit.
I wrote this down. First
All
of
right.
all,
He's got
I
the
loved.
smolder.
I got to get into this a little bit. I
Okay,
need to know
so-
why.
Let's hear it.
Meanwhile, married someone who's bald, so like
Fair.
he had lots of hair, but anyway, it's okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
at the time, as a very like sheltered kid, I was allowed to watch Star Wars, so that
Okay.
was it. Like that was pretty much that and Narnia. So when I looked at this,
He
I
was
looked
your
down
man.
here. It was like Pride and Prejudice. Okay, I could see that. So you got Mr. Darcy
My man Peter?
and
My man Peter.
well, but that was it. Like those three ones. It was
Yeah, but
Star
Peter
Wars,
was-
Pride and Prejudice.
Peter was better than Anakin.
I mean, of course, he was close to my age, but anyway, let's not get into that.
Sorry, King
Anyway,
Peter?
but-
Narnia? King Peter?
Oh, King Peter.
Narnia.
I was like, okay.
If
Come
you
on.
ever
All right.
do one about
Took
that,
me a second. No.
Homegirl is here.
No, I'm team.
Not
Team
a comic
Aslan.
book to as I know. But
well,
yeah, well, that's
he's
because Liam
God,
Neeson.
but
Right,
that's okay.
Liam Neeson.
Well, Team
that
Liam
too.
Neeson, too.
Team Liam Neeson.
That's fine. I understand.
Right.
All right, so
But
he
it was just one of those things
yeah.
where he was conflicted as a teenager. I was an
Yeah,
angsty
he's
teenager
moody.
too.
Yeah.
Moody, yeah,
Ugh.
whatever. And he was Canadian, and I liked hockey at the time. I
Yeah,
still
you
like
did.
hockey, but I like Canadian hockey.
and not Hayden Christensen.
Right. And then I rewatched
I
this, and I'm like,
didn't
what
think-
was wrong with me?
You keep bringing up he had like a smolder.
He
I
did.
really
He did.
did
I literally
not
wrote
believe
like
he had a smolder.
sultry,
Are you kidding me?
silky.
He just was
Dude.
angry.
No,
Fake
there's a-
angry.
Do we need a smize right now for the YouTube watchers? Like that's what he
I don't
did.
know.
He did. He was bad at it in episode 2.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
he was like
Yeah.
he to me in episode 2 he looked like a middle schooler who's trying to smolder.
Right.
He doesn't really
Right.
understand
Okay,
how
fair.
to do it. But in episode 3, I thought he got pretty good at the and he had like the hair over his eyes and the scar
Yes.
going
Yeah.
down his face. and
Okay.
In episode
He
2,
was-
he's
you know.
like, "Oh, I think I have a rat tail. Oh, I do." And that's like what
Yeah.
happened. But then by episode 3, it was like, "Oh, I have a full head of hair now." Like,
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
legit,
why.
legit, like
we got
Sith
okay.
hair.
Fine. Whatever.
Anyway,
All right, well,
that's
he's in it.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in it.
Natalie Portman, Ewan McGregor, Samuel L. Jackson, Ian McDermott,
Yeah.
they all come back. Frank Oz comes back as Yoda, Anthony Daniels as C-3PO.
All good stuff.
Christopher
except
Lee
for
returns as
Hayden.
Count Dooku or Darth Tyrannus.
Yeah.
So we get a whole bunch of people in here that, again, we've never had a problem with the cast. And
No.
I feel like a lot of these
Absolutely not.
corrections,
Absolutely
we don't have
not a
problems
problem.
with the
No.
cast.
Did
I mean,
Peter-
I rag on Hayden Christensen all the time, but I mean, there was enough
No, you can
really
continue to
great
rag
stuff, and I
on
will.
Always.
Peter.
But there was such a great cast around him. Like there was enough
Yeah.
to be able to help him along.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
my man Tamara Morrison, too, of course.
And
Obviously,
then did
as all
Peter
the clones.
Mayhew? Did he do the Chewbacca part then?
I'm not seeing him on here on the list. I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Yeah.
right? That'd be
But
surprising.
he's not on the main he's not on the main top cast here
Yeah.
on IMDb.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean that he's not.
Right.
I'll try and find it as we keep moving along. But I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Didn't yeah.
I don't know. A lot of the Wookiees were CG. There were a
Oh.
few moments where
Yeah, that big
where they
Wookiee
weren't.
scene, the big
but-
battle,
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
it's all
mostly CG.
mostly
Well, I have a fun fact about that. I'm known for my fun facts, so I thought I'd bring a few. Which one
Good.
is the Wookiees that were in costume, they had a new invention, which was a cooling system inside the Wookiee costume. So it would run
Really?
cool water in like little tiny tubes for them. That was the first time it happened on the Star Wars films.
Well, I mean,
He
I mean, there was probably like 6 or 7, but that's it. 'cause
Peter
CG.
Peter Mayhew did come back.
Okay,
as
that's
Chewbacca.
great.
He wasn't. He
Well,
was really
thank God,
really far down the
finally
list.
He got what he deserved, which was
A
cooling, system. there.
right. Well, and
Yeah.
and George Lucas finally got what he wanted, which is an army of Wookiees
Yeah.
Right, instead
but
of
not the
Ewoks.
movie,
instead of Ewoks.
because and he wanted that. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
we need the Wookiee movie.
We got the
I
Star
know.
Wars holiday special. It's all about
Okay.
Life Day.
Can
That's the.
Can I insert now the SNL?
Blood
Chewie will
red
kill you.
robes.
Chewie will rip your arms off.
In blood red robes, I
Yeah.
hope.
Probably.
By the life tree.
Actually,
Probably.
you'll probably be buried under the life tree.
I hope I can at least hear Carrie
If
Fisher's
you refer
dreamy
to,
voice as she
if you
sings
refer
to the Star
how
Wars
dare
theme
you?
song.
How dare you
Star Wars,
call
nothing but
the holiday
Star Wars.
special the Wookiee movie? How dare you?
It's all about Wookiee tradition.
It's not about their. I can't.
So sorry.
I can't.
They all walked through space in blood red.
Move on.
All right.
Move on.
We obviously have
Source
differing opinions
material.
there. No, we gotta do the rating first.
Okay, rating.
So
fine.
critics gave it 80%, which
yeah.
I get
okay.
that.
All right.
Audience gave it a 66%, which again I think
Again,
I agree.
I
with
think
that.
this
Yeah.
falls. I think that falls right in where I believe it should fit.
Was Rotten Tomatoes
Yeah.
a thing then?
That was Yeah.
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
They didn't have to go back and like backtrack.
No,
on
okay.
that.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
that was
Interesting.
real
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Which again, I think that's good. I think the 80% is a little more level headed. I think it's because outside, like if you remove yourself as a diehard Star Wars fan,
Yeah.
it was probably an 80%.
Little
movie.
high, little high on
Maybe a little
my
bit.
opinion. I
66,
think
I
if you
think is
gave
good, though.
a solid 72, a solid C,
72, 76,
82.
a solid C.
82.
Ooh,
Depends on what
that's
school
like that's a B.
you are in.
Sure. That's a
Because in our
B?
school, that's a C.
Oh,
82,
Oh,
I think.
well.
okay.
I don't know, but I think the thing was, like, you guys have talked about this before in the other ones, but, like, it was just Star Wars. So if you were a Star Wars fan at all, you're like, oh, thank God, another one.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
People
So
were
I think
still
that's
riding
why.
high on that,
Yeah.
And then how long it was with what it was filled with, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, but, like, that, I think, is why it was probably higher. Because you just wanted
Yeah.
those duels.
Yeah, but the thing was, the critics gave it the higher score.
Yeah, the
over
critics
the.
gave it the higher,
I
not
guess
the
because they're
audience.
Over
checking
the-
off. They're there with their checklist going,
Yeah.
how many duels?
Could
Oh,
be
5?
true.
Okay, or 4, whatever it was. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
it was good. So, I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't good. It wasn't bad.
Let's talk about our correction.
Sure.
All right. So normally we get together with at least 3 different things that really bugged us about the movie, and we talk about those. This is a little tougher. I mean, there's plenty of stuff, but again, it's not really a correction, but it's not perfection. So there are plenty of things that were wrong about it. Let's start with the weakest. We'll get that out of the way.
Get that out of the way.
There's
The
a lot of
simple-
meat in the
There's a
other
lot
ones.
of there's a lot I want to hit on some of these other
Yeah,
ones.
and in fact, our two more meaty ones kind of go together. So
Okay.
we'll just
Go ahead.
So the first one, pretty much all the dialogue is bad.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Just stick with the lightsaber fights.
Garbage.
Yep.
It's just,
Pause.
yeah, it's bad.
We can all pause right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a lot quicker than even Star Wars, but anyway.
No.
There was huge pauses between
Yeah.
every time that
Yeah.
Padme talked. It was like, Anakin. Oh, what just happened? Like,
Is she still going?
did
Yeah,
my
it was-
screen freeze?
It
Yeah.
was not. It wasn't good. The act, and I think it was amplified because the action was so much better
Sure.
in this episode, and so whenever the action, like, so if you think of like episode 2, the action was good, but when it stopped, it wasn't like, it was like, it is what it is. Episode 3, the action was good, and so when it stopped, you just wanted to go back to that.
Right.
Yeah.
You noticed the disparity more.
I think to your point, I think you had a really good point earlier. We were talking a little bit before this.
Yeah.
So and to that point exactly, this opening battle,
Yeah.
okay, where it's the
They're
fight
rescuing the
above
Chancellor.
Coruscant,
Yeah.
getting ready to rescue the Chancellor.
Right.
That space scene, that
Yeah.
space battle is probably one of the best battles.
It's super cool.
Oh, 100%.
in all of Star
I
Wars.
love
Yeah.
buzz droids.
Okay, and so to the point that you guys are making here,
Yeah.
anytime that they cut away from anything that was about the action of
yeah.
that battle and cut to dialogue,
Yeah.
it was garbage.
Absolutely.
It was garbage. I mean, at one point in the beginning there, Obi-Wan is talking to himself and Anakin isn't even acknowledging it.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan is like, go on with the mission. Everything's clouding up. Huh, things are falling apart around me. And Anakin is like,
Doing my thing. Well, you know, he justifies it, though, because every time he does something like that, he does his whole, I'm sorry, master.
Yeah.
right.
I hate that, man.
It is
like
really
the worst.
not
His
The
great.
shields
cadence-
aren't down. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
And it, like, goes
yeah.
off.
And then he
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
does it. But his cadence is like, I'm sorry, master. It's like, what are you, like, Eeyore the Sith? What's going on
Eeyore,
here?
that's actually.
Oh, wait.
Oh, my
That
God.
is
That's the episode
phenomenal.
title.
Eeyore the Sith.
Eeyore the Sith. Oh my gosh, that is
Ugh.
phenomenal. That
Eeyore.
is exactly what he is.
That was
I know.
so bad.
That is exactly what he
Can you
is. This
please
is
draw
amazing.
A hood,
Oh,
like
yeah,
instead of
on
the hood
Eeyore.
over Jar Jar in like some of them.
Oh
hood
my
over Eeyore with
word.
the round nose and
Eeyore the Sith. If Eeyore became a Sith,
Yeah.
he would be Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader.
No, just Hayden Christensen.
Just
as
Hayden
a
He would
Sith.
just be Hayden Christensen
Yeah.
as a Sith. That's true.
because Anakin.
Oh my gosh, that is phenomenal.
Well,
There we go.
it's
Woo.
phenomenally bad. Is what
Everything,
Absolutely.
actually,
Yeah.
just everything that Anakin is leading up to, or Hayden Christensen is as Anakin leading up to the moment he
Yeah.
becomes Darth Vader. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
really what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's yeah. So all
Does
of the
all of
dialogue,
the 100-acre wood relate
Yeah.
to? No, I'm just kidding.
all of the dialogue falls into
Fan
this
fiction.
like bump ba dum bum 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 ba da dum bum bum BS.
Yes. Yes.
So slow.
Oh, boy.
It's,
So it was
it's
bad. It
hard
was
Yeah.
to walk
It was
through.
bad. The action though was good, and this is
Yeah.
probably why it got the 80% or
Right.
80
Yeah.
something percent. Is
Right.
Because the action was good. This has the best live action lightsaber
Yeah.
fights we've seen to date. I mean, even when you look at the sequel trilogies, which had some cool fights,
Yeah.
this was the best
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
action.
Yes.
I know there's
agreed.
some debate. In there.
Agreed on that 100%. I just realized what I think is the worst dialogue moment in this whole thing.
Okay.
Oh, I
Okay.
think
Is it
I
maybe
have
going to
it
be
too.
my?
Oh, do you? Okay.
My
So I'm going
agreement.
to. What?
Okay. No, go ahead.
Well, let's see
So
if we all think of the
I
same thing.
believe it is when they arrive back. They've saved the Chancellor. They
Yes.
arrive
Oh,
back
yeah.
at the Senate.
I know what you're talking about. Now
and
what I was thinking of, though.
Padme tells Anakin
have
that
that
she's
yeah.
pregnant,
Yeah.
and his reaction
Yep.
and their
Yeah.
conversation back and
This
forth
is a happy time.
is
Yeah.
the worst conversation. It is quite possibly the
Yep.
worst
Yeah.
response that I have ever seen to being told that you're going to be a father.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he is the worst.
it was.
He was like, "Uh-oh, me's
It was
Two-
painful.
a me, another
Me?
me."
Wait, that's how
Painful.
that works?
Painful.
Yeah, I think mine,
What did you think was the
mine
worst?
was, Annie, you're breaking my heart.
It's both.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna go
You're
just
breaking
Padme.
Oh
my
yes,
heart.
yes, on the
You killed
platform.
younglings. Like the way
Oh.
and she was like,
Yeah. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
all I was
She
thinking
became
there.
well. You know what happened here? She became as whiny as he was in episode
That's
2.
what I was saying because she was wearing the pants, and then all of a sudden she passes to him, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Wait, I'm gonna transfer roles, and I'm gonna be the one who just."
yeah.
all I was thinking was, just break her heart faster. Break it.
Yeah,
faster.
exactly.
Come on,
It
just
should have
break
happened
it
episode
faster.
End this.
2.
When she fainted, it was like, yes, get to
Yeah.
the lightsaber fights. I don't want to see her whining anymore.
No,
Right.
no, we
I
needed
think
to
that
be
was
done.
That was
We
my
need to be
least
done.
favorite.
Right.
Obi-Wan, by the way, the other thing in this, like,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, like, barely cares for. She just fainted from him
Oh, yeah.
choking her out,
Yeah.
and he like,
Well, he made a priority decision. He's like, I need to stop this guy that's going to destroy the galaxy. If she's dead, it is what it is. The galaxy's at stake.
At least his offspring will
I
continue.
guess.
Maybe
The
which is
galaxy's
like,
at
I
stake.
guess, man,
Listen, man. Here's the deal.
that is so heartless.
If the
Oh.
galaxy is at
That is
stake,
not the Jedi way.
if the
That I'm going to tell
galaxy
you
is
right
at
now.
stake-
That is not the Jedi
yes, it is.
way.
No,
All right, Mace
yes, it
Windu.
is. No attachments.
No,
No attachments. If
This
the
no
galaxy
attachment
is at
stuff.
stake, then that one individual is not
Right.
important. The
I
galaxy
guess
is what's
you're right.
important.
I
Which is the
guess
whole
that's
reason they're not
fair.
supposed
He
to be
had to
married.
make
Then
the
I
tough
guess
choice.
that's fair. But like,
Yeah.
there has been plenty that has been said
Oh,
on
sure.
the internet about like they Padme at that moment is just kind of like
Well,
discarded away.
And Obi's not that heartless. I mean,
Yeah,
look at
exactly.
like
Exactly.
Satine
The
alone
droid's got her.
proves that. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
Thank
So
you.
his
Thank
relationship
you.
with Satine just makes it.
weird.
Well,
So-
but it makes him. He should have been more
Giving.
Caring.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
action
Yeah.
is amazing,
Action is- action's
but the
great.
dialogue doesn't match up with anything in the action.
No.
So then you're just distracted by it.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's
Exactly.
where we've
It
talked
pulls
about
you out, pulling
Exactly.
you out of
Yeah.
the moment.
this
you know?
idea of being
Yeah.
pulled into a movie. You are right there alongside Obi-Wan. I'm right here with the Sith. Like
Yeah.
we're in this together, guys. I gotta roll. If we're rolling, I'm rolling with you. But then like the dialogue rips you out, and
with
you're
the
like,
Sith?
I'm watching a movie. I'm
Yeah.
watching a movie.
Yeah.
That's what's happening here.
Well, like you said before, and one of your corrections was like the cutaways are ridiculous, and they're not even the true cutaways because it's like the ones that push you right into like the starship, fights or whatever. Those are real cutaways or the pans or whatever.
Yeah.
But then the ones that they transfer to different scenes going on at
Yeah.
the same time, like what happens in Mustafar and everywhere else, it's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark side. You're the Sith. You're going along with the Sith.
Always.
Okay.
I roll deep with the Sith.
They caught you rolling.
Roll
I
deep
know,
with the
I
Sith.
know. Look at
That's right.
it's kind of pink.
And by rolling deep
I
with the Sith,
tried.
I mean
It literally takes the whole thing of food coloring to make red. I googled it and it's like,
Yeah.
by the way, 1 tablespoon. This candy isn't even 1 tablespoon. What the heck does this mean?
requires a
Okay.
lot. The dark side requires
Former
a
it,
lot.
home
it
ec
requires a
teacher
lot of
candy.
sacrifice.
It requires a lot of sacrifice. That's right.
Well, understandable.
Yeah.
We could
so
say it's glowing. That's what we could say. Okay, guys.
It is glowing.
that's true. The
You know.
hotter it gets, the lighter the
There
color
we go.
gets.
That's
There we go.
right.
So evil.
It's all right. Well, let's move on to our last two kind of go together. So we're
Yeah.
we're gonna lump them into one big.
Sure, I'm
we're
good with
upset. So it's mainly just the inconsistencies and frustrations about both Obi and Anakin's characters.
There-
So
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
They're just a mess in this movie. There's a lot of things that shouldn't have happened.
The story of this movie is the final arc of Anakin moving to the dark side.
Right, his descent.
Yeah.
His final
his
descent.
ascent to the dark side.
Potato,
Crossing
potato.
over.
All right.
Just call
But-
it crossing over.
So
No, I'm gonna call it descent.
Just call it crossing
Guys,
over.
Call it
stop!
descent.
Yeah, stop fighting. Stop fighting. That's what. That's
No, it's
what
way
Emily's
too much
here.
fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
To the point here is that's
Yeah.
what this episode 3 is
Yeah.
about.
Right.
And the problem here that we've talked about a
Yeah.
little bit, but we need to talk about more is nothing that happens in this movie lines up with the power struggle that we then see between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Right.
And what we have seen to this point, and what I mean by, and I have to be clear about this, we have to remember this, we have to name this for Legion, is the Clone Wars, the TV series, did not come out before this. So
Right.
if you're sitting there at home and you're like, well, the Clone Wars animated series actually clarifies, good for you. What I am saying is you have to
Right.
view this
Yeah.
from the perspective of the movie when it came
Yeah.
out.
12-year-old
When
me.
it came
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
it did not, a lot of the things don't make sense. So to
Yeah.
start, I will name
Name it.
off the bat, Anakin kills Dooku. And he
Yes.
does that on his own.
Right.
Yep.
Obi-Wan, I'm going to name this, and I know you're going to be upset about it.
Huh?
Obi-Wan did not help in this fight. He was a hindrance in this fight.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
Obi-Wan
I
and
agree.
Anakin
I
were
agree with that.
fighting,
The conflicted.
Dooku,
Yeah.
they were weaker than when Anakin by himself was fighting Dooku.
Right.
Yes. I
And so
agree.
Anakin kills Dooku,
Yes.
defeats him when previously could not,
Right.
got owned by him
Yeah,
in episode 2.
Yeah.
When he says his powers have doubled, yes, we know that that is pride. Yes, we know that that is him being overly confident.
It's also kind of true.
It's also kind of true.
Yeah.
It's also kind of what
the Clone
actually
Wars
happened.
have been going on for years now. He got
Right.
super strong.
Right.
Right.
He
Yeah.
is
Experience,
actually
yeah.
his powers probably have doubled
Yeah.
At
since
least.
since then.
Right.
So the reality is he is showing that he is ultra powerful.
Right.
And in that moment, and I'm going to say this, and this is the point that we clarify around, and we'll talk about this.
Yeah.
In that moment when defeating Dooku, he is more powerful than Obi-Wan. He should
shouldn't be.
He should be.
shouldn't be, but he is according to the movie.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He shouldn't
He
be.
shouldn't be.
But he
but
is, according to the way this movie has been
Parameters.
set up.
According to the parameters
Yeah.
they've set
that
up.
they've set up. Yes.
Can I
Agreed.
also remind you that when he kills him, the decapitation
Oh
is
my
super
gosh.
cool, right? I love that.
Amazing.
And then he ruins it when he speaks by being like, "I shouldn't have done that."
Immediately, my man, you can't say that
Yeah.
after you have just
I
sliced a
shouldn't have
man's
done
head
that.
off.
Wait, arms or hands
Hands
and then
and then
head off.
head.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not you touch the stove and you're like, oh, bad kid.
no,
Like, don't,
yeah.
you cut off someone's hand. Okay, all right, let's talk. And then you're like, decapitation.
Right.
All the way.
Right. Actually, when you cut off the hands, you sit there and you're like, okay, we know that they could just give him mechanical hands. Like,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah,
that
'cause
was a pretty good move.
Yeah.
Actually,
Anakin's got a
okay,
mechanical
Anakin,
hand already.
Anakin, we may not fully agree
Right.
Yeah.
with you doing that
Right.
Yeah.
from a Jedi lens,
Right.
but it actually is a pretty smart move
Yeah.
because give him mechanical. I've got a mechanical. Look what I got over here.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a mechanical arm. He can get mechanical hands. Okay,
Right.
and then, and you're like, can't grow that back. Can't give him a mechanical brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you could. You'd just be a robot.
He would be
Cyborg.
Grievous. He'd be
Yeah.
Grievous.
Which,
No,
yeah.
Grievous has his head and his heart still.
It's just
Right.
all contained.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. He would be a
Yeah.
cyborg. You're
He'd
right.
be- yeah. Well, anyway, so
Yeah.
great action, but improperly sets up the balance.
Right.
The balance
Yeah.
of power. Because then it's the
Oh.
haven't used this in a while.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah. The
know.
juxtaposition between this scene.
How can you say you haven't used it in a while
like
when
an
you use it
episode ago.
every,
No,
every other
Oh, I'm
episode?
sorry.
go
It
back
was-
and listen?
It was
has
a Star Wars correction episode.
Maybe
ago.
it was.
It was because I just listened to it to review these things because I listened.
But that was like
again.
9 episodes ago.
Oh, fine.
It's been a while.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah, because the
It was
last time we
early
did
May. It
episode
was before I
2,
got married, I think.
we do 3 episodes a week now, my man.
I don't
3
trust,
episodes.
I don't trust you. I'm
Anyway.
listening to her.
The juxtaposition.
Maybe?
Okay.
May 9th, we do 3 episodes a
Ish.
week. 3 a week. All right. So
All
regardless,
right, maybe.
when you compare the when you compare the two scenes.
Thank you.
When you compare the first scene that you just described,
Right.
and then the end scene where Obi wins, the power level distribution is not proper. And I know people go, he's conflicted and all that crap, but he was conflicted with Dooku too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So
Because he immediately goes,
I shouldn't have done that.
I shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, or did I do that? Pull an Urkel.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He's like, did
Oh
I
my
do
gosh.
that?
yeah,
It's like,
that's not, so he's conflicted both times. But the power level he showed against Dooku
Right.
was not the power level he showed against Obi at
No.
the end.
No.
Or at least
No.
not in the last 30 seconds when he decided to just jump over him for no reason when he
Right.
had all the time in the world to do whatever else he wanted to do.
Float
You know what set that
down
up,
the
though?
river and like come around him. Like,
Yeah.
oh, hey,
But this
hey
goes
man,
back.
what's up?
This goes back to that writing thing. Obi-Wan literally says, I have the higher ground. Like,
Right.
you
just
you
told
didn't
him.
have to do that.
Well, and he did, and that I'm okay with him saying that because he doesn't want to kill Anakin.
no,
So-
absolutely.
but
yeah.
then now Anakin knows.
Yeah.
So
Goes
and
back
also,
to the writing.
couldn't he just levitate himself over to the land and
Well,
then
not,
he
and
can
not
pick
just that.
whole-
Yeah, there's the guy.
hold
that
things
he's
up.
on a floating thing.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
and also he didn't have to
Move
jump
over.
out, float around.
float over to the
That
side.
was always
Float
my
over to the
argument. Why
side.
couldn't
Over.
why couldn't he have floated
Step
over
up.
him and
Any
landed up in the
direction.
higher
Yeah,
ground?
yeah.
Here's
Pick
the
up-
one thing I will say about the higher ground line.
They've
Yeah.
jumped like at 60, 70 feet in the air. He could
Yeah.
have jumped all
yeah.
the
I
way
know.
above a lightsaber
Right.
swing.
Oh, wait, I'm
Right.
sorry. They wanted
Way
to
above it.
get to the point of him being Vader, I guess.
I guess, but he could.
But there
there
were
was that
so
other ways.
many
I
other
know.
ways
Yeah,
that
so
it
many
could
ways.
happen.
I
Here's the thing.
And that's
Here's
the
the one thing
problem.
that I did like about the
Higher ground.
higher ground
Yeah.
line. Okay.
Yes.
This actually goes
All
back
the mains.
to all the way to no. Well, that yes, there's that. But it all actually goes all the way back to episode 1, because in episode 1, when he is fighting Darth Maul,
Yeah.
Darth Maul has
As
the
the higher
ground.
ground. Yeah, it's true.
Okay, and so
He always
the
wants it.
move that Anakin does is the exact same move that Obi-Wan does
Does Darth
to
Maul.
Darth Maul.
Oh, I like that.
So
That's cool.
what ends up
Right.
happening here is he loses
Yeah.
because Obi-Wan actually knows exactly what he's going to do,
Right.
because Obi-Wan did it to Darth Maul.
Okay.
Right, so he knows how to counter it
So
properly.
he
It
knows
just
how to
goes-
counter
yeah.
it exactly
I like that.
properly. Like now, but this goes to the point of there are too many gaps and too
Yes.
many assumptions
Yes.
Yes.
that need to be made. I had to dig
To be
into
acceptable.
Right.
actually that's
Wow.
pretty cool.
Right.
Do a flashback for God's sake.
Oh, I know.
Do
you don't-
something to make a
Does that happen at
connection
all,
there.
though? I don't think flashbacks happen at all in
no
Star Wars.
flashbacks.
No,
No.
But what I'm saying,
Yeah.
no, that's not true. That's not true.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Force Awakens doesn't count, or whatever
Yeah,
9 was.
yeah. In 7, 8, 9,
They don't exist.
Hello.
I know they don't
Hello.
exist. Except
You're-
they did have a flashback in it. So
but
I'm
your
just saying,
challenge is moot.
That's what
my
I'm saying.
challenge is moot.
But
Okay,
but
whatever, fine.
regardless, here's the deal. Even if he knows how to defend against that, Obi-Wan and Anakin have been fighting together for
Yes.
years and years
Yes.
in the Clone
Thank
Wars.
you.
So,
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
Anakin knows all of Obi-Wan's,
Right.
like, he knows his skills,
Right.
skill set. So he wouldn't just jump over them.
Thank you.
If I was Obi-Wan, I'd be bragging every day about
They
that.
have
that I
fought-
chopped Darth Maul and head. I jumped right over him and chopped him down.
They
Yeah.
But
for
regardless-
years have been fighting side by side. They have fought
And
countless
even-
enemies
and
side
even-
by side.
And they recognize it. He calls him brother. You know,
Right.
it's like so.
Yes.
And even without like the Clone Wars series,
Right.
Yeah.
we knew that from Episode 4 when he says, "I fought alongside
Yes.
your father in the Clone Wars."
Yes.
Right.
So like we
Thank
already
you.
know that they
Yes.
fought
Well,
alongside
2 and
each
4,
other.
and then that filled in the middle was 3.
Yeah.
But it didn't fill in, is what you were saying earlier.
Right.
There's huge plot gaps.
Yeah.
So not only just the time thing, like you've talked about before, it's plot gaps where you're like, but I thought that was, and you're like, oh wait, never mind, we're rewriting it, and like
Right.
midichlorians being a thing, and you're like, wait, why? This was never
Right.
talked about. And Lucas even said, he said something like in a 2000. It was published in 2004 or 2002, like this whole making of Star Wars
Yeah.
thing. And then they reprinted it in 07. It goes, oh, by the way, I mentioned this the first time in 1977. No one remembers him saying it, but he added it in this book. Like they just for the Logan Bleilers of the world.
Yeah.
It was like it was
Oh,
like what
gosh.
the heck?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you start retconning your own material. Is
Absolutely.
like you end up retconning yourself into a
Yes.
corner.
Yeah.
And you have to do something.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you have to make something. And in all honesty, it's not the worst of the worst.
No.
But there's a lot of them, and they add up.
But this
But-
movie, yeah.
Yes.
This whole movie
This
is
goes
that.
to your point, though.
yeah.
That tries to explain why Anakin loses in this final battle.
Sure.
And your point was that Anakin is the chosen one, not of the light side or of the dark side.
Right. He's
But
the balancer.
He is the balance.
Right.
And so he's at his most powerful, or should be at his most powerful, when he is in the balance between the light and the dark.
Yes.
So when he went down the path of the dark side, he actually became less powerful than he was potentially in the Dooku battle at the beginning, which is what gave Obi-Wan the advantage.
Right.
However, again, all of that we had to make assumptions around, and nobody has any understanding because the Chosen One hasn't been talked about.
Right.
Midichlorians haven't been talked about. We haven't actually gotten an understanding of where Anakin came from or what his purpose is.
Yeah.
None of that has been addressed in any of this.
Nope.
So because of that, we have these huge gaps where we are just making assumptions. We are saying that right now in this, and we're like, yes, okay,
but
that makes sense. We don't actually know if that's true.
Right.
How we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. I mean, part of my argument would be Anakin shouldn't get defeated by Obi-Wan, period. Except from your point.
Yeah.
So what was your point around Obi-Wan, around how he should win this battle?
Yeah, so Obi-Wan has always been known as the wisest, most tactician-oriented Jedi during the Clone Wars, things like that. So the only one who might rival his wisdom when it comes to confrontation would be Master Yoda.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so he's always had that, and that's where he always had the leg up on Anakin. And even when you see when we go through the Clone Wars TV show and everything like that, we see that where he is the much more calculated. Now Anakin takes risks, and sometimes they pay off, and sometimes they get him in a whole lot of trouble.
50-40, 50-50,
yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. But regardless, Obi-Wan is the tried and true, and he is the steadfast tactician. And when it comes down to it, if he were to go into a game of chess with Anakin, he would win 9 out of 10 times. And so that's how he should have won. I think he could have won against Anakin, but only because he has more experience, he is better tactician, and Anakin is conflicted.
And here's the thing. I agree with that if there was more of a cat and mouse here.
Well, yes.
But there wasn't.
The movie did it badly. They just fought.
Right.
They just butted
said
heads
they're
until
equals.
they
They're equals.
stopped.
They're equals. But the problem was, like you were saying, is if he's such a tactician, there would have been this plot of literally, and we would have, because again, with these plot holes, you would have been like, oh, okay, you see why they're moving this way towards where they're oaring or whatever, whatever it was on Mustafar that they were, whatever geographic land. But no, we just end up on a hill, which was that movie with Hugh Grant, the man who turned a hill into a mountain or whatever.
Yes.
That's literally what was happening.
Yeah.
It's like, so why? But I don't know.
Yeah, Obi would have gone into the mining facility, and he would have.
He could have thrown all this stuff at him.
Yeah, or he would have cut power. He would have moved machines to confuse him. Created things.
Guys,
that
I
would
smell something coming on here.
He just stood at the top of the platform with his hands at his side.
Yeah.
And came straight for him.
Yeah. And then
that's not what he would have done at all.
And he would have done everything he could to not get on that river of lava.
Absolutely.
That's not where a tactician should be.
It's your weakest. You could die from burning. Let's be honest. What kills everything?
Right. From a tactical standpoint, there are too many. There are too many ways that you could actually fail without actually even it being your fault.
Well, and he knows, and we see it in Clone Wars too. But Obi knows that if he were to go, whereas he would win 9 out of 10 times in tactical against Anakin, if they were to go brute strength, Anakin wins every time.
Oh, 100%.
Every time.
And he knows that.
Every time.
So Obi-Wan knows
never
that.
would have gone head to
wouldn't
head
have
with
done
him that way.
He would have, especially if he believes he's actually stepped over into the dark side.
Yeah.
Right.
Then he's going to go about it the way he goes about it best, which is taking his time, being patient, and working his way through the situation.
He would have been in the Senate floor then, because it was like a chess game with all those
little.
right.
No.
But so to that point, there was a lack of wisdom being shown in this movie.
What made him that way?
Proper
Could we argue that Obi-Wan was now conflicted because you had Anakin who was conflicted because of Padme, and now you have or whatever else you want to say.
Yep.
You guys hate the love story, whatever. Anyway,
I like love
first
stories.
woman on the podcast goes, I love
Hayden
Christensen. I love the. What did you expect? No, just kidding.
I don't mind people loving Hayden Christensen.
No, I'm teasing.
I mind
Anyway,
it.
but
I mind it.
but then so Obi-Wan was conflicted because this was his brother.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but then even then he should have had a shutoff valve for the emotion. If he is who we're all agreeing he is,
Right.
Qui-Gon was his master, so it
Right.
would have been there would have been a way.
Right.
Well, and we see, and I know we were trying to look at it outside, but we do have to, or we can go
Yeah.
to look at Clone Wars because it is there and
Oh,
it
yeah.
is part of canon now. But if we even look at that, like with his, and I know you're not there yet, so
Oh,
I'm not
plot
gonna
twist.
I'm not gonna say the whole
Two
thing.
of us have seen it.
Or I don't want to say, or I don't want to spoil the whole thing.
You
but
don't know where I am.
I do know you're not here.
You don't know.
Did
You don't know me.
Do you wanna-
Finish it.
Not yet.
There you
Yeah.
go. So the culmination of Obi-Wan and Satine's arc proves that he can do what he needs to do
Yeah.
to make sure the mission is completed, to make sure he values the Force and the galaxy over those that he cares for.
Yep.
Right.
And so, like,
Right.
he would have been able to do that with Anakin. He had
Yeah.
a much longer relationship with Satine
Because he did it.
than he did with Anakin.
Yeah. So he
But we
did
have
it,
to
but-
also, but we have to also factor in here, and this is the other point that we need to make. Part of Obi-Wan's struggle is
Yeah.
also that probably because
Yeah.
it wasn't laid out directly,
Oh,
but we
sorry.
have to assume that part of it has to be that he feels guilt because he made him this
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Oh
okay,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure. Definitely.
He contributed to Anakin becoming this way.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not
yeah.
just him, the entire council.
Yes.
Okay?
All right. Let this be
100%.
our last point here.
This has to be our
before
last
we jump
point.
into the verdict because we're pushing envelopes here in time.
I got it. But my point here is
yeah.
okay, we know
Yeah.
that the chance this is what we can know before I even get into any of the problems here. Okay.
Sure.
The Chancellor is manipulating some things
Yep.
that the Jedi Council does not agree with, right?
Yes.
Yes.
He sends Anakin to be his representative on the council, right?
Yes. He
Yes.
he commands the council put him on the council.
Right. Right. In that moment,
Yeah.
the council accepts Anakin
Yeah.
on the council, but does not make him a master. Ticking time bomb, people. Ticking time
Well,
bomb.
and he's already
Yeah.
whining.
How much
Yeah.
wisdom is on this council? People, come on. Are
It-
you kidding me? He's
Yeah.
either on the council and a master or not on the council. He should not have been on the council.
Yeah.
Number one, and I think we can all agree on this,
Yeah.
should not have been on the council.
Yeah.
But
So stupid.
if
and
you're
then,
but if you're gonna put him on the council, then actually put him on the council.
And
actually
make him a
put him on the
master.
council.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're
Bring
gonna
him
get
in.
retaliation.
Bring him in because otherwise you're playing
Just
right
don't
into
give
this
him any
man's hand.
younglings. Don't give him any younglings.
But
Okay.
the other point here,
Babysitting duty.
the other point here is, so they not only piss him off,
Right.
okay?
right.
They then give him a mission that is so
Yeah.
important, so highly important,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
they'd give
yeah.
it to him when he's already angry, conflicted, upset.
Yeah.
And
Insanity.
not only is it such an important mission,
Yeah.
but in order for him to complete the mission, he has to betray one of two father figures in his
Yes.
life.
Yes.
So he either doesn't do the
and
mission,
betray his values
Right.
as a Jedi.
Well,
you're asking him to go against the Jedi code. You are asking him
You know where they
to
got this
go
from.
down the dark
He-
side.
So he either betray. So if he does the mission, he's
Yeah.
betraying Palpatine, who's a father figure.
Right.
If he doesn't do the mission, then he's betraying Obi-Wan, who asked him directly,
Right.
who's his other father figure.
Right.
So you're
Right.
putting
Right.
him in a position now to betray the only family he has, no matter what he does.
Yeah.
He's
Yes.
at a loss now.
Yes.
And somehow
Yes.
affects Padme as well.
Right, sure.
So I have a thing that your major was history-ish. No.
That's what I taught for the
Okay.
past 7
So
years.
my idea is that Lucas got this from Benedict Arnold because that's who Anakin is.
Yeah, sure.
I
That's-
mean-
that's
Mm,
true.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
You know, pedal back,
Interesting
and it literally
move.
is. You're gonna go fight this battle for us. Oh, psych! I'm now on the other side. Oh, I want all the glitter, and we know it's not always gold. Okay, little Tolkien
Right,
reference
right.
there.
Mm.
But anyway, that's what that's my fan theory. Is Lucas took this from our history because one
Yeah,
of
that's
the
a
things
good
I
idea.
read
That's
was
a good
that's a good
connection.
theory.
I liked
Mustafar
it.
was actually his version of hell. That's what he thought hell would look like. That
Right,
was
of course.
So
Right.
so you're like, okay, if he pulled that, I think he could have pulled other things from history. And so I would say probably the first time I saw it, I was like, Benedict Arnold.
Mm.
Think
that's
about it,
really
George
good.
Washington
That's really
slash
really like
the
it.
mother
Yeah.
country, but you're an American. But it's like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So that's my argument.
It's a good
That's
move.
a really good.
Because he thought he would have
yeah.
power.
I hadn't
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
That's
So,
a really
anyway,
good observation.
Someone who actually has a history degree can
Yeah,
correct me
yeah.
if I'm wrong in the
That's
comments.
Sure,
a really good.
sure.
On
That's a
Patreon.
really good
I
observation.
like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I'll go with
Yeah.
it.
I'm plugging Patreon
But-
again.
Yeah.
Patreon? I'm just kidding.
But I agree with that. I just still like
It still doesn't
they didn't
coincide
trust
with the
Anakin.
council's wisdom.
Oh, agree.
They didn't
no,
trust
yeah.
Anakin
Yeah.
to go and search out a lead on Grievous.
On Grievous,
Right.
yeah.
But they trusted him to spy on the most powerful
Right.
man in the entire galaxy.
They are closer to him in that. Like if he's out in the outer rim, then he's a little more on his own. Like at least they've got. So I can understand the
if we went with
proximity helps,
Brute
but
force, though. You guys were
I'm
talking
sure.
about brute force.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had how many legs and arms? That would have been the case in point. That should have been the point for Anakin to go do that.
yeah.
Right.
Instead of the last resort where Obi-Wan shoots Grievous,
I
you
know.
so uncivilized.
Yeah.
Anakin would just come out with a machine gun,
Yeah.
knock him down, and be
Yeah.
like, done.
Game over.
Going
Yes,
home.
Exactly.
we won.
Yeah, so they should
Democracy.
have done the other
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get my point here is
Yes.
the end point that I want to make is
Yeah.
that the council made him the way he was.
Yes.
Not
Obi-Wan
just the
enabled it,
council,
yeah.
Yes.
but
and
the
Obi
council made him this
enabled
way.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan enabled it, and the chancellor was able to take advantage.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the reality here is the Jedi created their own downfall
Absolutely.
by a lack of wisdom.
Because
Yeah.
Qui-Gon is dead. That's why.
Yeah.
That's my argument. Because he was trained by the Wills. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's just...
My point.
Well, but he was trained by the
Qui-Gon
Wills
would've-
after he died, though, wasn't he?
What's that?
Wasn't he trained by the Wills after he
I
died?
thought it was before.
I thought it was after he
Oh,
died.
boy.
I don't remember.
Interesting debate.
Either way.
correct us.
Regardless,
Either way.
he was definitely.
We know who he was. Who
Liam
we,
Neeson is always worth having on the council.
100%.
Always should have been on the leading the council.
Why couldn't they bring
Yeah.
him in as CG or like floating then, like as a thought? You know how they have that at like the end
There's
of the...
a lot of things they
Yeah.
could have
Oh,
done.
I know, I'm
Emily.
sorry.
Emily, there's
I'm
a lot of
sorry.
things that
All
could have
right.
been done.
All right, let's wrap up with our verdict. All right, so verdict time. I mean, it's not a correction, it's not a perfection. It was fine. I mean, we would fix all the things that we mentioned in this podcast.
I think the big
Yeah.
fix is.
Oh wait, before we do this, I want a cupcake while we do our.
All right, that's fine.
All right, do you want one?
I'm good.
Yep.
I had.
You good?
I
All right.
taste tested.
Oh, you
plenty.
tasted.
I'm going
All
to
right.
talk about it, so you go ahead and have a cupcake. You can sit back and relax
Yeah, because
while
you
I
don't.
handle
It's
it.
really awkward for the people who are like on a. I've listened to some food podcasts. Where like,
Oh yeah, they eat while
sorry,
they're
everyone, that was disturbing.
All right, well I'm gonna at least take a bite.
Okay, go ahead.
There you go.
So my big point here,
Yeah.
you could have some of the other bad stuff.
Yeah.
You need to correct what happened with Anakin and Obi-Wan. That is the big piece.
Yeah.
Everything revolves around Anakin's fall to the dark side.
Yeah.
You need to better correct and answer some of the plot holes that exist there, and
Right.
you need to just get into that
Yeah.
with both hands a little bit more.
And they did it twice,
Yeah.
by the way.
Right.
They did it with the whole like art show, whatever, with Palpatine when they're watching the little.
Yes,
What
the
was
dancing.
that? It was a
was
space
dancing
opera.
Have you ever heard of
Tadpoles?
the legend of Darth Plagueis?
So they did it. They did it once there. Anyway.
Have you ever tried to speak while gargling water? It's very difficult.
He gets.
Yeah.
I love how his
Sorry.
voice changes. It's so many times in the movie
does.
that make no sense.
Oh,
That
yeah.
line specific.
He accidentally let out his dark side.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, exactly.
He didn't have his dentures in.
Yeah.
That's the one thing he forgot on the way to
Poor-
this
It was
opera.
like-
Poor Ian McDermott.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
We love
This man is a straight up Sith. Who is not paying attention here?
Yeah. Hey, have you ever wondered if your boss is a Sith? 'Cause if he starts talking like that,
If he starts talking like
Sounds
that
like the-
and is discussing Darth
Yeah.
anything,
yeah,
then he's a Sith.
Yeah.
definitely not good news.
No Jedi can teach you.
Well, good. Then
Oh boy.
I shouldn't be here.
You're a Sith, dude.
Can I
Dude!
leave now?
It's between that and the hissing when he finally becomes, full. Of,
Oh, I love it.
Listen, if you're watching blobs
love
of,
it. He's like
you know you're a Sith if you're watching blobs of water fly through the air
and talking about a Darth.
and talking about a Darth.
It might be a P, Plagueis. Or
Yeah.
P there.
My gosh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I would just do all those things. I think fix
Just
the
fix
inconsistencies
the
with the
inconsistencies.
parameters
So
around Anakin Obi-Wan's powers.
So then
Right.
does this get added to the
Change the
or
dialogue.
the the 7, 8, 9 that we don't talk about then? If that's true?
No.
Okay.
No.
No,
I just want to
this
make
is
sure.
fine.
This needs to be fixed
Here's
to just fix 1 through
here's
the,
what I would
the
say.
1 through
Okay.
6
Okay.
storyline.
Here's what I would say is watch episode 1.
Yep.
Don't
Okay.
watch episode 2. Instead of watching episode 2, just watch Clone Wars, the TV show.
I actually don't think that needs. I actually don't.
You think you can watch
need-
episode 2?
Can you believe
I don't
that
think
some
you can
people have
watch.
that as
I don't
a
think you need
favorite?
episode 2.
I
don't
just
think you
said
need,
don't
That's what he
watch
said.
I'm
episode
sorry.
2.
I don't think you need episode 1.
But I want to see Liam Neeson, though.
Liam Neeson and
If they
Darth
cut
Maul.
out the pod
Liam Neeson
racing
and Darth Maul.
to a 5 to 6
So
minute
okay,
thing,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Watch episode 1.
Watch episode 1.
Fast forward through the pod racing.
Your
because,
VHS,
yeah.
everyone.
Fast forward through the pod racing.
Yeah.
Don't watch
Don't
episode
watch 2.
Yeah.
Watch the Clone
Watch
Wars
the
TV
Clone
show
Wars
instead.
TV
Yeah.
show instead.
And then
yes.
watch episode 3.
And then watch
And
episode.
then 4, 5, and 6.
and Rogue.
Wait,
no,
Rogue
no,
One.
Rogue
I
Rogue
was
One.
saying, do you
One.
want
Don't
my
miss
order
Rogue One.
of favorites? I was gonna say that's a.
No,
Order
no.
of
We're
favorites.
just talking
Oh.
about
No, which
You're
ones
saying
you
a what
should.
to should
in what
Which ones you
order
Gotcha,
you
should.
gotcha,
should
gotcha,
watch.
If you're gonna
yeah.
show, if you're
We
gonna
want to talk favorites. That's a
show
whole
your
other
I know,
podcast.
I know.
Yeah,
But,
right.
but talking about how to watch
Yep.
Star Wars, that's
Yep.
the way I
And
think
which
I'll
ones
teach
you
my
should
kids.
or shouldn't. By the
Yeah.
way, these are delicious.
Good,
And I
good.
can't wait till the podcast is over so I can finish
Good.
eating this. It's really awkward to eat it. You were totally right. So I'm just going to hold it now.
Yeah.
Awkwardly.
It's more awkward.
Is now. Well,
Awkward.
I'm just gonna keep talking, so
Yeah.
you gotta hold it. That's awful.
Well, just so you know, I didn't see. Just so you know, the order of how to see these things.
yeah.
I had seen 1 on VHS, then
Right.
2. Then my dad goes, "Oh, we gotta watch 4, 5, and 6." So we go 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 before
That's
3
horrible.
comes out.
That's horrible.
Then we
No,
went
no.
1,
That's
2,
not the way to watch
3
it.
in the movie theaters. I saw that twice in the
Okay.
theaters.
Okay, there
so,
we go. All
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I think I saw it twice in the theater too. It was good.
It was,
it was
tickets
fun.
were cheap, so yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It
Yeah.
was even though there are
It is
things
fun.
we would fix in it. It's a fun movie.
It covered everything.
Have
you got the family,
heard of Darth Cupcake? They're delicious.
Darth Cookie Monster. No, just kidding.
They are delicious, and we are going to eat them once we say goodbye to everyone. I'm going to eat this whole plate.
Oh wow.
I mean, do you doubt me?
No, I have
They-
no doubt.
No
I
doubt.
guess they're that good. Okay.
They are that good. Emily, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank
for
you,
coming on the podcast for us.
Emily.
We had a blast. Hopefully you
Fun.
had some fun too.
Yeah.
And thank you for being a Patreon supporter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those people who are Patreon.
By the way,
supporters,
you're getting a
thank you for that.
T-shirt.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
getting a T-shirt.
Oh, that signy uppy thing I got.
Yeah,
That's right.
buddy.
All right, all right.
They're
yeah.
coming,
I
and if
didn't
you
sign
want
up.
one too, you better sign up in the future.
No.
We are
Oh,
going.
Okay, I was going to say they can't get this one. It's only
In
for
the
people.
Would you
future.
let me?
Well, I
You,
didn't
I'm
want you to
really,
give them false hope.
I'm gonna smack that cupcake out of your hand.
Oh, you're not.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Let me finish speaking,
All right,
and then
finish
correct
speaking.
me afterwards.
All right, I will.
All right. So you can't get this T-shirt, but you can get into our upcoming raffle,
Yes.
which is going to have
Oh.
an even better T-shirt that Greg designed. I was gonna give you a compliment, but I am now not.
Is this that T-shirt thingy? What's that one you guys
Um,
always talk about?
No, this is a brand new one. So this one's going to be so if you become a Patreon supporter before the month of September,
Yeah.
you will be put into our September raffle.
That's
We're going to
right.
be giving
Cool
out
beans.
2 winners for a limited edition print run T-shirt.
Whoa.
Rare zombie print
Yep,
T-shirt.
design print T-shirt for the upcoming
Oh, boy.
our upcoming Halloween specials that we're
That's
doing
right.
in October. So you guys will be getting that.
Oh.
2 Patreon members will be getting it for free. And we will be giving those raffles out based on the tier. Everyone will get their name in a raffle, but you will get more names put in the raffle depending on the tier that you are in. Higher the
Choose
tier,
the $10 tier.
more
everyone.
names go in there.
There you
yeah,
go.
so that's coming up. But if you are a Patreon supporter already, and you have been since May of 2021, you will be go on Patreon, check out the information you need to give in to get your free complimentary Legion T-shirt for the summer.
Thanks for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also on the major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction.
That's right. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/Legion of CC. New episodes come out every Monday.
And Wednesdays!
No, just Mondays.
And Wednesdays?
I don't think we can do Wednesdays.
We can do Wednesdays.
All right, Mondays and Wednesdays. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same Legion.